Welcome to the IAOB SMMT YouTube channel. These 13 videos were filmed at Faltec Europe Ltd in Sutherland, UK, and will focus on techniques that can be used while conducting first, second, or third-party audits using the IATF 16949 standard. These are simulated scenarios and are not intended as a full representation of an IATF audit.
Ross, we looked earlier at some of the concerns, some of the customer concerns that have come in recently, and I made a note to follow up on one of them, which is this 23068.
Yeah.
Can you just explain, so what happens once you have the concern identified?
Yeah.
What's the process that you go through?
So the quality technicians, they receive notification of a concern. They take note of that in the concern log, and then they raise a CIR. The details of that are there in the description. So this instance, we had a gap panel issue with the customer.
Yeah.
So the technician goes to the customer on site, does an initial investigation, other parts, other models, different colours, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
They then do an initial analysis where it could have happened on site here at Faltec. So during the process, after, during an inspection maybe, or prior to dispatch, and we class that as our firewall.
Yeah.
Okay.
So in this case, we can see that, it could have been caused, it could have been detected during the manufacturing process. Yeah.
So it was missed at the manufacture process. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we implement some temporary countermeasure actions. So for this instance, we raised a concession with the customer and put the parts on a firewall to accept the parts.
Yeah.
Okay.
And is the containment still ongoing in this case?
No, it's closed now.
Out,
yeah. So the concern was closed and the containment has also been closed. So from there, the concern goes to the QA department, so the quality engineer then investigates. We use a number of different tools to find the root cause. One of them being the fishbone diagram, cause and effect.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So this is done as a cross-functional team. You can see down the side there. Got production, engineering, quality.
Yeah.
Okay.
And how does this work in practice? Do people come together? How does?
So typically with this, we'll either do it in an office space like this, or we'll do it on the shop floor at the section. And we have a big board with this printed on, and everyone just writes on, has a brainstorm activity of potential root causes, and then as a group we decide on what we might investigate or could be the cause. So you can see there's X's on there, Y's on there, stuff that as a group we've decided could be the cause. Yeah,
and how would you do that? Is it a consensus?
Yeah. So the team members on the side, we all sort of take a vote and we consider the likelihood of those different items. So you can see by the colour coding, we've got occurrence and non-detection. We'll put them on either side there, and we vote, could that be the cause? Well, probably not, because you've got stuff like Gembas or 4Ms in place.
Yeah.
From there, so we take the ones that we voted as a yes, and then we do some 5Y investigation, and we get the root cause analysis from that. Then we move down to the permanent countermeasure actions, and we agree these as a cross-functional team as well. And all those actions refer to one of those 5Y trails. So 1A goes to 1. There was no 2 or 3 trail 4, 4A, 5A.
So in this case, you've identified 3 root causes.
Yeah. And we've implemented a countermeasure action against each of those.
Yeah. Yeah, so you've got assigned and timing associated with that. So we can go and just look at that in practice. We'll go and follow up on that in practice. What about some of the other, so FMEA, for example, so obviously we talked about detection here and detecting the issue. Was that identified in the FMEA or?
So what we do as part of the concern at the follow-up and the lessons learned, we go down, review FMEAs and control plans, and then implement these actions and rescore appropriately.
Yeah. Right, so I can see here you've got FMEA reviewed and updated. Again, we'll look at that FMEA separately. And there's a couple of other issues that we've identified that I wouldn't mind going and seeing what's happening in production in terms of containment, particularly on the most recent issue.
Okay, no problem.
How does this get closed out ultimately?
So this as it's a customer concern, we've got a deadline. It's 30 days. So we complete the CIR, send it into the customer, and then we get a formal notification that the CIR is closed from them.
Yeah. And if we go back to the original, what was the, can we just look back at the log to see whether that problem has reoccurred anywhere?
Problem. The issue was there.
That one, isn't it?
Yeah, and you can see, got the panel, there's nothing more
further.
there.
Brilliant. That's great. Thank you, Ross.
No problem.
In this video, the auditor is auditing the process of managing customer complaints with a focus on how root causes of the problem are identified. This relates to IATF 1694 requirement 10.2.3, problem solving, especially requirement C, root cause analysis, methodology used, analysis and results. The auditee explained that a cross-functional team brainstormed the potential causes of the problem using a fishbone diagram, and then the group selected the most probable causes and then used 5Y to drill down to the relevant systemic root causes. It was good to hear that the organisation didn't just focus on one potential root cause. In fact, in this situation, for the problem that was being discussed, 3 potential root causes had been identified, each of them driving separate corrective actions. The auditor stated he would follow audit trails to the shop floor to verify the implementation of these actions. Auditing customer concerns also gives an opportunity to verify the organisation in how they manage customer-specific requirements. The auditee clearly stated that a customer requirement is complaint closure within 30 days, which the auditor can verify by reviewing the relevant customer-specific requirements. Finally, auditors should minimise the use of leading questions. For example, in the problem-solving process, the auditor said, "What about the updating of the PFMEA?" A better way to word this would have been, as a result of the complaint, what quality management system documents were reviewed and, if necessary, updated. So let's summarise. A key part of a problem-solving process is using tools to identify the root cause or root causes of a problem to allow systemic corrective action to be taken to eliminate or reduce the possibility of the problem reoccurring. Auditors should focus on this and then follow audit trails to verify the effective implementation of the relevant corrective actions. Auditors should minimise the use of leading questions and try to ask as many open audit questions to enable gathering of objective evidence to either demonstrate compliance or non-compliance.